Hi, fans. Alongside of Haley Mine, and I'm Josh Haley. Glad to have you with us. This is such an important rivalry for these two. Even though it's out of conference, softball means so much in this state.
It does, and every single time they play here, it's a sold-out crowd, and it's one of the things that Oklahoma does really well is bring softball together. I mean, no matter where you're at in Oklahoma, there's a lot of great history here and a lot of great series to be played.
Let's take a look at what's happened in this series. 60th all-time meeting. The last time Tulsa won was 2011, but not because, as you mentioned, there's been a lot of close calls in there.
There has been. I mean, that series where they had 4 national championships, there's a lot of close games. I mean, Tulsa almost knocked them out of their regional in 2017 when they go on to win. And it's a lot of 10-inning games, high energy, high pressure, and it's just such a great thing to get on the field and compete with teams like this.
You know who knows how to play in high-pressure situations? How about Gabby Garcia for Oklahoma? What a weekend for this freshman.
I mean, she just stepped into this lineup like an actual pro. She's already leading with 6 home runs. I mean, she led off with Game 1 against South Carolina in the first SEC series with an opposite field go-ahead 3-run bomb. I mean, if you're hitting opposite field, I don't know what more says that you've got some power.
Somebody that can do that as well, that had a monster weekend to open up conference play, Celeste Wood.
Somebody I was so impressed with in her approach in the box. She went to all fields. It was so tough to get her out. I mean, she went out and hit it opposite field. She went up the middle, and then she would hit the home run over in the pool side. I mean, she just was a tough out all weekend long.
Tulsa looking for a headlining win on their home field here tonight. Golden Hurricanes taking on the undefeated and #1 Oklahoma Sooners when we come back. Back in Tulsa, these two getting set to go. Let's look at the lineup for the Oklahoma Sooners. Brought to you by Reese's. Dayton, don't sleep on Parker either. Anybody in this lineup really can do the damage, and Ella Parker has been the best hitter for average this year, hitting .525. The lineup will go up against Mara Moore. She was the starter in the first meeting, and Mara Moore is coming off a really good weekend, Haley Minen.
Mara Moore is going to be one of the people they look to bring them into this game with a lot of calm energy. She does a great job leading from the circle. She's going to attack more up in the zone. She's going to get weak contact with soft pop-ups, and she's got a great little rise ball. She's going to throw 59 to 64, and she's going to work on getting 3 speeds, keeping these hitters off balance. That's what she's going to need to do to be successful.
Moore with 2 complete game victories in Tulsa's 2 wins against Memphis this weekend, including the finale this past Sunday. Shut out the Tigers in 5 innings. Really, really good stuff. And this Sooner team, they don't strike out a lot. And she's been good pitching to contact. She can still get the outs. Defensively, for Chrissy Strimple's team this evening, Holcomb, Dill, and Rouse the outfield. Amber Turner doing the catching. Berkeley Foster making just her 3rd career start. She got to start games 2 and 3 this past weekend and was really good, coming off an injury earlier in the year, but has handled it well and draws the responsibilities of the shortstop tonight. Abigail Dayton trying to be the ultimate table setter here, and one of 6 lefties in this Oklahoma lineup tonight. All cloudy skies, but just kind of adds to the drama here. Temperatures in the 70s and no precipitation in the forecast. Great softball weather. We're ready to go. Tulsa versus Oklahoma. First pitch misses up from Mara Moore, and it'll be critical here tonight against the
OU, because they're so good at getting and maintaining momentum early. That's huge. Settling your pitcher down and stealing it out right away.
8th runner that Turner has caught this year. 3-0. See if Parker has a green light here. She did, went right after it, expected a strike. Moore kept it away from her, 3-1 now. So what do you look for now, Haley, on 3-1 if you're Parker?
She still needs to see the pitch that she wants. She doesn't need to swing out of her.
Here just a few minutes ago.
Shot at the Charlotte Knights game and a AA in Charlotte, and one hopped and hit the mascot. So this was my redemption plan, and I took it a little easier on this one.
I like it.
What was your plan going in? Like aim it?
Yeah, just toss it up there. It's a little closer than the mound, you know, in baseball. So It's impressive what these girls can do underhanded, though. I couldn't touch it. It's wild watching it from back here.
What do you feel like is more pressure, coaching games or throwing the first pitch?
Definitely throwing the first pitch. I know what I'm doing coaching games. I don't know what I'm doing out there on the mound, trust me.
I can only imagine it's been a whirlwind of the last few months, but from your perspective, what's your time in Tulsa been like so far?
No, it's been awesome. I mean, the state of Oklahoma, really, the people here are so nice. Like, it reminds me a lot of the South where I'm from. You know, got to play golf a couple times, so I've done some things outside the office. We've closed on a home, kind of getting settled in. But football, man, I couldn't be more happy with where we're at as a team. Bringing a lot of transfers in and trying to get those guys meshed. We go on spring break next week, and then we hit the ground running in spring practice right when we get back. So it's been awesome. It's a great place. It's unique. Education's still valued here, and I really appreciate that, and our guys do too. And I think we're going to win here. I think we're going to win a lot of games here, and I think it's a sleeping giant.
2-2 pitch to Pickering, able to stay alive here. I know that was something you mentioned when you were first introduced to the head coach, that you don't feel like winning needs to wait. It's not a process where you say, let's get 2-3 years under our belt.
Yeah, it used to be. You know, you used to have to recruit a high school class of 25 guys, redshirt them, and get good in a couple of years once they got some playing experience. Now you can go hire 22-year-olds.
How about this play?
Yeah, I thought that really got him going. I mean, if
in Tulsa, as we move to the bottom of the first, here's your lineup for the Golden Hurricane. And how about Amber Turner and what she's done recently?
She's done a great job as a freshman stepping into this lineup and creating some consistency because she puts really good at-bats together. She has a good eye, she swings at good pitches, and she's kind of got in there, and she's done exactly what Chrissy's asked her to.
Well, in the circle here tonight for Oklahoma, Audrey Lowry, the left-hander. What should we expect from her, Haley?
Audrey Lowry is very unassuming in the way that she kind of attacks hitters because she's a very quiet and sweet type person, but she's just a dog out there in the circle. She's going to throw 63 to 64, but she can dial it up into the high 60s. She's got all pitches that she uses her curve a lot and uses it well. She's going to introduce ground out. She's going to mix both sides of the plate, and she's got really elite spin.
Coming in with a perfect 5-0 mark. 27 strikeouts, only 2 walks. Does not do a lot of self-inflicting. Does that pitch up high? We're joined by Tulsa football coach Trey Lamb, and you're no stranger to softball. You were telling us during the break you got a pretty good family connection.
Yeah, my first cousin is the catcher at University of Georgia, so I think they're top 10 in the country right now. She's a senior, having a good senior year, and they're doing a really good job down there. So maybe they'll see one of these two teams down the road in postseason play. I was talking to Chrissy before the game. She said this freshman pitcher for them is like all world. Like, she's got a chance to be freshman of the year in the SEC. She said she's really good. So she thinks they're going to change several times, left, right, left, whatever that means. Nobody knows that yet. We haven't been out there together. So that's really the identity of that first week. And then once we get into that, it's going to be about competition and see what the depth chart looks like. Who we got to go get out of the portal, who needs to go in the portal, and what kind of roster changes we need to make.
Celeste Wood, the hitter, with 2 outs. You come from a line of coaches, your father, your grandfather, multiple championships. Is there a #1 value, core coaching value that they instilled in you?
Yeah, I just think you got to be able to teach. You know, like, at the end of the day, we're teachers. Like, it's no different than a professor. We're in the education business. We're just trying to help, you know, a player get from point all the way down to Pee Wee.
We're looking forward to seeing that success. Back in Tulsa, there's the legend, 31st season as the head coach, Patty Gasso, 4 straight national titles, and earlier this season named the new head coach for USA softball, which is thrilling for a lot of people, but especially in this state for Oklahomans to see one of their own. Pretty cool moment for Patty Gasso.
Well, and she's got so much experience on the field where it's going to be played, and I'm really looking forward to seeing. I mean, I know it's in 2028, but it's going to be a great time, and she's going to lead a great team.
No doubt about it. Gabby Garcia will lead off here in the second. SEC co-freshman of the week. well earned. No, Garcia, she had only hit in the 8-9 spot in the lineup until last weekend. They put her in the 5th home run that Mara Moore has given up this year in nearly 70 innings pitched. So not one to give up the long ball. See how she rebounds here with Sydney Sanders at the plate.
And one thing that Mara is really good at is rebounding. She did that all weekend last series, and she's just a calm presence. She takes her craft very seriously, and she is going to come back in and keep her team in this game.
Gets a strike on the upper edge. Such a student of the game. Studies her craft as in-depth as anybody. Didn't pitch bad against OU the first time. She took the loss, but in 3 innings only gave up 2 earned runs. So she had her team in the ball game whenever she left, but there was some misplays in the field that led to 3 unearned runs. But in a game like this, there's nobody else that you put the ball in their hands. A veteran, she wants the ball too. That's the big thing. Tart Monster ate it. A lot of tough games in the non-conference for Tulsa, the likes of OU and Texas.
They played a great game against Texas, and 2-1, I believe, and that's something that they can build on. I know that they know that type of gameplay is in them. They just got to step in this game and get some momentum. Mara's going to keep them in the game. She's so good at that. Just like you were saying, this is what you want in the circle.
When you transferred to Tulsa, was how tough? Obviously, conference play was tough too, but the caliber of games you're playing in the non-con, was that kind of something that lured you in as well?
I'll be honest, I was just excited to play and get the opportunity. I had transferred after an injury, so getting that opportunity to play was so much more fun. But some of my best memories is getting in and playing teams like Oklahoma, like LSU, OSU, all those teams that you watch on the Women's College World Series year in and year out, and it's just so much fun. That's how they get to these pitches and hit the ball for these power numbers that they do. I mean, since JT has taken over the offense, their lineup produces 7.8 runs per game with 922 home runs, and they're only striking out on 9.1%. That is absolutely crazy. And so with all these new faces in the lineup, you just know that JT is such a great leader for their hitters.
Albayani at the plate takes a close pitch. It's something that Patty Gasso talked about specifically this week. When JT came back, and there's a lot of additional science and data around the game nowadays, even more than 5-10 years ago. And so kind of using some of those things to really institute a new hitting philosophy, if you will, a new approach. It's Jessica Dreswick talking with the battery.
Just want to check in. 2 quick balls, and you don't ever want to give Oklahoma any extra reason to have another out to work with.
And it sounds interesting to say, as far as the offense for OU kind of changing things a little bit, considering that they had been the elite of the elite. But if you're not evolving, then you risk dying, right? You got to keep changing with the times, and credit to that entire coaching staff that they continue to look for better, more efficient ways to do things.
Yeah, one of the hardest things to do about being the best is staying the best. You have to keep moving because everybody's chasing you no matter where you're at. And at number 1, it's hard to be there. It's hard to stay there.
foul. OU had scored in the first inning of 6 straight ball games. Tulsa been very good in the first inning this year. And so the Golden Hurricane, good job even after the first hitter was able to reach base. Able to shut out the Sooners, but Oklahoma not to be denied so far here. Gabby Garcia with a lead, able to keep both of those runners at bay.
I mean, this is a good adjustment. Get that ball a little bit more off the plate, coming up after those 2 hits, or 4 hits rather in a row. That's what she's going to need to do. She's going to have to keep the ball off the white.
Back to the top of the lineup now, Abigail Dayton. Way up for ball 1. Now for Oklahoma, it was a wild SEC opening series against South Carolina down in Norman at Love's Field. 10-9 in game 1 on Friday in their first ever SEC game. And then the weather washed out Saturday's contest, so they played a twin bill on Sunday. They won game 1 10-9 and then 2-1 in the finale.
I mean, and they snapped the undefeated streak for them, for South Carolina, who's been playing so well, and they're still playing well. I mean, they played a great series. All 1-run games, all super entertaining. Great softball.
Proven they can win in a variety of ways, too. You want to get to a slugfest, they'll win that, and then no home runs on Sunday.
It's something that a younger, newer-faced team needs to see and find out that they can do, especially leading into SEC play. You're going to play a lot of tough teams. I mean, we talked about how many are in the top 10 in the SEC. It's absolutely stacked. So you know you're going to go in and have to use different tools to win games.
Staying alive here is Dayton. Got a bunt single to lead off the ball game. You know firsthand, tell us, how hard is it to get sweeps in conference play when you know everybody so well? I mean, it doesn't happen very often.
The scouting report is out on you in SEC play, or conference play, well, especially SEC play, but they know what you don't. You've got 3 people coming for it. It feels easy, or feels like it should be easy, but those high balls are tough.
2 outs now. Cassidy Pickering going after the first pitch. Popped out of play.
Almost a repeat.
Moore struck out Pickering first time up. Preseason All-SEC selection. And already having that type of year. Came in as the team's home run leader with 7. Now shares that lead with Gabby Garcia, who homered to lead off this inning.
I mean, there's really no better way to start your collegiate appearances than how she did. In her first plate appearance, she hit a grand slam. I mean, I don't think you could ask for anything better.
Yeah, if you're writing a script, nobody would believe it. They'd say, no, that's too unrealistic. We can't do that.
No, who does that, right? I mean, just hitting a home run in your first appearance would be a dream come true, much less a grand slam. It really just set her up for the whole year, as well as she's done. All-tournament team last year in the World Series.
Moore's 2-2. Battled off. That's what the good hitters can do.
That's one thing about OU hitters is, I mean, that's a pitch that she struck out on last time, that they're not going to really make that same mistake twice in a row. They're gonna learn from their last at bat, and they're going to come back knowing the weapons that Mark
makes the catch. Annika Dill retired.
Next up, the Golden Hurricane, number 25, Paige Knight.
She talks about she wants her team to not be anybody else but who they are. She knows that she's got talent. It's just the matter of them finding that confidence, finding their groove, and going out there and believing it themselves.
Former Oklahoma Sooner, Paige Knight, Takes ball one, played the 2021 season at OU. Didn't get a lot of opportunity, but so much talent ahead of her in the upperclassmen, but 3 of 5, a homer and 4 RBI. That's not bad production in 5 at-bats. And then, of course, 2022 and 2023 at New Mexico State. Solid hitter there for Knight. And kind of back home in a sense. Hails from just down the road in Owasso.
It's always nice to come full circle.
This has got to be a thrill for her. Playing so close to home in this in-state rivalry. 60th all-time meeting. 2-2 now. Audrey Lowry, the lefty, went 1-2-3 in the first.
Homer off of OU, you know you're feeling good. Have it.
Guaranteed she'll never forget it.
Definitely her answer to favorite memory, I'm sure, from her freshman year at least. Favorite home run. Write it down.
El Rouse now steps in. Going after that low pitch. That's only the 4th home run that Lowry's given up this year. Averaging less than 1 per 7 innings pitched. No wind here tonight to speak of. So anything you hit out, it's all muscle. Going back to your point about Coach Strimple talking to a team saying, don't need you to be anybody but yourself. That's got to be really empowering, right? For your coach to say, I just want you to be you, be who you are. Nobody's got to wear an S on their chest tonight.
Her numbers prove it.
Gabby Garcia. Nine-game hitting streak now. Went 2 for 2 with a double in the first meeting between these two back in February. Blows the 1-1 past. Omar Moore, being the anchor of this staff, always draws out the toughest matchups, but now especially after these hitters have seen her live already once this year. It makes the success whenever she has it even that much more impressive.
I mean, it is the tough job being the person that's your go-to pitcher, because the teams going into your game know you're going to throw. Whether win is the question, but you're going to be the one they're preparing for. And that's one of the reasons he's taking second base.
2 in scoring position here for Sydney Sanders. Worked a full count. 4 foul balls in the at-bat first time up before finally tucking one inside the line in left field for a double, her 3rd 2-base hit of the year.
Play, it's great to see.
Agbayani with a base hit first time up. It was a little bit of bad luck for Tulsa. And a bunt here. It was a sharp one-hopper back to the circle. Moore got her glove out and just deflected off the edge of her glove. And then that sent it through the infield because Russell at second was shifting towards the bag, so it changed the path and allowed it to sneak through and scored a run. It was 4 straight hits overall for OU to start the second inning, but hats off to Moore and Tulsa defensively.
No, that could have gone downhill more, but she does such a great job. I mean, almost better when she's got runners in scoring position. Don't always have to drive it in the gap to produce runs, and OU's so good at producing runs in any way that they can. What makes them so hard to beat.
Emerling going after the first pitch.
Came off the umpire.
Mike Burwell getting the worst of that.
Ooh.
So they'll give him a moment just to make sure all is well. Chad Steers, your first base umpire, and that's Wyatt Bowers there checking on the and calling balls and strikes. So good to see a smile on his face.
It's a tough job back there, and I would not want it. I don't know how they do it back there.
He's good. The crowd showing their appreciation. It's kind of a relationship catchers and umpires have, because they're both going to get dinged up at least once a game. It's almost inevitable, right? So
some shared trauma back there.
Always quick to console one another. Two across here in the third for OU, already with 8 hits. We're seeing a little bit this inning, though, of what Chrissy Strimple was talking about. She said, you know, the key for us, make the routine play. OU's too good to give extra chances to. They're gonna make the most of it if you give them extra opportunities. So, like allowing the runner to advance to second in Garcia.
And couldn't be a better game for them.
Brooklyn Foster will lead things off here for Tulsa. And how about this youngster over the weekend, the freshman from Owasso, gets her first 2 career starts. Man, she answered the bell in a big way.
She did, and Coach Strimple praised her for being calm in her first few starts, which is all you really want to ask for somebody who's kind of step in and get their first few opportunities to kind of go in there and stay who they are, not try to be anybody else.
Some changes for Oklahoma. Sydney Barker is now playing first base. And out in right field, taking over for Tia Malloy is Maya Bland. I don't know how many opportunities you might get, you know, as a freshman early on, but that just kind of keeps you in the mix for a long time. Having a game like she did, especially on Sunday in the series clincher, that builds up a lot of equity with the coaching staff that's saying, hey, I can come through in the big moments.
Yes, and the way, you know, little things were out of her control in the beginning of the season, but keeping calm and not letting that get to her, that's what made her so successful this past weekend, is just getting in there. And another great swing from Holcomb.
First career extra base hit.
Always feels good to get out of the way. And this is a team that's still learning each other. There's a lot of new girls on Tulsa's team as well, just trying to find their groove and learn what they're capable of.
Well, OU making a change in the circle. We'll formally introduce you to the new pitcher when we come back.
she's got a nasty changeup. So when you're mixing speed in the upper 60s and then you're mixing in an off speed that's going to dip down below that and keep hitters off balance, I mean, that is a tough job at the plate. But on top of that, she's got a disgusting drop ball that mimics the same movement as her changeup. So she's going to throw something down in the zone at 2 different speeds. When batters have swung at her drop ball this season, they've missed over half the time. So a lot of swing and misses at her drop ball. So you're going to look to see her produce strikeouts and groundouts with it.
It's back to the top of the lineup. 27 pitches, 18 for strikes for Audrey Lowry. Went right at Tulsa hitters. Got 4 strikeouts. 2 hits, but both for extra bases, and responsible for the runner on second, Holcomb.
And Sam getting a chance to pitch in this game where she was unavailable last series against South Carolina. So look at that drop ball, it's so good.
Well, Macy Cole, this is a spot in the lineup, the leadoff spot that, you know, she'd been in a little bit early in the year, kind of back there now, really anchored things down, did so in that conference series last weekend. Coach Strimple said, you know, she knows full well what her responsibilities are as that leadoff. She's just a hardcore competitor. That's the first character trait that makes her a good fit for that spot.
Outfield just that much easier.
Big opportunity here for Faith Russell.
Faith is also a good bunter. Depending on how Chrissy plays this, you may see that.
And not out of the question with Holcomb, good speed at third base. Emmerling's going to come out and have a chat here. Well, this is an element where Tulsa got really good last weekend. They were hitting just above 200 with runners in scoring position in non-conference play, but 416 in the 3 games against Memphis.
Faith does a good job at the top of the lineup because she's typically not chasing the ball out of the zone very much, and she gets the pitches that she wants to hit. Which is her job at the top of the lineup. See pitches. Especially with a new pitcher, you're going to want to make her come to you and let the rest of the team who hasn't had an AB off of her see what kind of weapon she's got.
Everybody clap your hands.
And that's her rise ball that makes that drop ball even more effective because it's coming in and you're not sure if it's going to go up or down. It's tough as a hitter.
Able to battle off that payoff pitch. Close pitch. Dayton able to reach for the second time today.
So we're just going to look for her to find the zone here. It's a little bit tough when you're a new pitcher coming into this game and learning the zone. Obviously you want to watch the previous pitcher, but she has some different stuff, so take a second, but gotta hop right in this game and find the zone.
Sydney Barker, who came on in the bottom of the third at this spot in the lineup for Ella Parker. Her last start, March 2nd against Kansas City, had 3 RBI. Turner paying close attention to Dayton at first. Just because Dayton was caught stealing in the first doesn't mean that they wouldn't try it again.
Yeah, maybe they learned a little something, but keeping her close over there at first base. And as a base runner with a pitcher who does throw more up in the zone, it is a little bit tougher to steal because the catcher can kind of come up and get a little bit better throw down. But with Brindley throwing stuff a little bit more down in the zone, it gives it a little bit different look, and it's a little bit easier to steal bases on somebody where they're going to have to potentially block.
.360 hitter is Barker. 6 extra base hits, including 3 homers. About 18 runs driven in and only 25 at bats.
I call that efficient.
Job by Turner to keep it close.
And that's what you're going to see from her right there, where I would think the runner would pick up on that and be taking 2, but Tulsa can be thinking that she didn't pick that up quick enough and kept her at first base. And that's what makes OU offense just tough to face, because you don't want to put it over the plate, but then corners, they're still taking pitches and then they find their way on base anyway. I mean, pitching against Oklahoma is a tough job, no matter how you spin it.
Cheney Elton will pinch run for Oklahoma at first. They're going to have a little offensive conference here as Tulsa talking things over in the circle. Well, you mentioned earlier just what the rankings look like. It's almost like an SEC ranking. Look how many teams in the top 9, 7 of 9 coming from the Southeastern Conference.
You could almost guess the top 10 nationally or the top 10 SEC rankings. I mean, it's some great softball, and we're in for a great year watching games. I mean, the matchups are going to be incredible, and it was already, like we talked about, South Carolina against OU. One-run games each time, 10-9 twice. I mean, that's just a hard-fought series. They're going to be very battle-tested by the end of the season.
Oklahoma's going to head to Arkansas for their first SEC Road Series beginning on Friday. Take on the 15th-ranked Razorbacks, and it'll be kind of a Gasso family reunion. DJ Gasso on staff there at Arkansas.
The funny part is that they kind of do the same job, the brothers. They're the hitting coach. They're in charge of that philosophy, and you know, the Arkansas offense is so good. Bree Ellis leading the way, and by Celeste Wood there at first to come down, and that's the type of plays you got to make when you're playing OU. Steal the extra outs instead of giving them.
That's good umpiring too. Over at first base by Chad Steers. He kept his eye on the bag the whole time. Knew what he was looking for. Garcia takes one outside.
That's a small misses for her.
Tailing off foul down the line. Last TU win in this series, got to go back to May 22nd, 2011. NCAA Regional in Norman. And it was an extra inning win for the Golden Hurricane that ended up forcing the regional championship if necessary game. Kaylani Ricketts and OU would go on to win it 5-0 to advance to the Supers.
Kaylani Ricketts was fun to watch. another
inning for Oklahoma. 3 walks and a hit by pitch.
And that's the extra base runners that you don't want to put on base for OU.
That's really close. Sometimes on plays like that, it's the sound more so than the sight.
Yeah.
Do you hear anything extra there? Like,
it kind of looked like she got her foot out of the way.
two aboard here with 2 outs. Agbayani takes blowing away. If you're Tulsa, if you want to have a chance to make a run at this thing, you've got to get out of this inning right now.
They're just 1 out away. Play at any base. Fine pitching. I want to keep this ball low at the knees.
Got the edge there. Only the 5th appearance of the year, 3rd out of the bullpen for Hayes. Oklahoma won the first meeting less than a month ago. It was their home opener. 8-0 in 5. Three and 1 now to Agbayani. Ivana coming off the series against South Carolina. 4 of 8, a double and an RBI. Fouls back the bunt.
That's one thing about lefties is that they have so many tools. I mean, they can go out there and show bunt and run through and drag, or they can slap, or they can obviously swing for power as well. I think that's something that is the main reason why she has so many lefties in the lineup.
The discussion is finally over, and so we will move into the bottom of the 4th inning. But OU has scored in 3 consecutive multi-run frames, and they lead it 7-1. Well, here's what's happened so far on this Wednesday night in the Collins Family Softball Complex. It was a scoreless first inning. OU getting on the board with a pair of runs in the second. Tulsa was able to answer, though, in the bottom half. Amber Turner with her first career home run. OU reinstilling the lead, though, with 2 more in the 3rd.
Now batting for Tulsa, number 13, Celeste Wood.
Well, if you're going to get a rally going, who better than your hottest hitter as of late, Celeste Wood.
And you can see her slightly cracking a smile there. She's playing her best whenever she's not taking herself too serious. Likes to be thinking about just, you know, whatever she wants in the box, and it just seems to be what works out for her.
Little discussion there on the delivery from Landry. First base umpire Chad Steers was providing a polite next pitch to Wood. That gets away from the new catcher Hicks.
So that strike became a ball because of illegal pitch. So now she's behind 2-0 to Celeste Wood. You can see that she made an adjustment where she's not sliding her foot forward, she's not picking it up, and that's something as a pitcher that can get into your head. Is they're calling you an illegal pitch and you have to adjust your pitching motion mid-game. It's something that needs to be really consistent. You can see where her heel is, and she's not coming up or sliding anymore. She's already starting just a little bit more in front of the plate. So something that, I mean, that's a tough thing to adjust in, and something she's going to have to overcome here.
You can only take one step or stride forward toward home plate as you deliver the pitch. So, and that seems like an odd thing, because you know that that's not in her normal motion.
So on the left side, you can see where she was starting initially is a little bit further back, and then taking that little step again, and then back on the right side, you see what she's doing now, where she's adjusted where she started and kind of rocking more heel to toe with it. See if she can find it again. Took right there that she drove up the middle, and that's what she did good, but drive them up.
Going after the first pitch, Annika Dill. Series clincher on Sunday against Memphis. Dill 2 for 2 with a walk and an RBI double. Really seems to be seeing the ball well lately. Only 1 strikeout in her last 24 plate appearances.
Annika's somebody that Coach Strimple had a lot of great things to say. She said that she can do some really special things through her career here at Tulsa, and she's somebody who swings hard, started hot, and just really puts together really good ABs. Kind of stepped in and as a freshman and been a pretty consistent part of this lineup. She helped lead her high school team to their first state tournament appearance in 15 years, so she's used to, you know, high stress environments and lots of pressure. That's probably what led to her being so calm under pressure coming in. And
credit to Wood, though, she was ready to go. She was thinking maybe that gets past.
Well, that's a look at that nasty changeup that she throws, and I mean, she might have picked it up, but that's a nasty pitch.
First strikeout from Landry tonight. Knight went down swinging first time up.
Turner just really hot at the plate right now. Let's see if she can continue it. Her working down. You can see where that home run was hit. It was more up on her hands, a little elevated and a little more over the plate. She did a good job of taking that over the fence, but Sam Landry being more of a down ball pitcher, showing her that up pitch, but you can see it staying outside on her instead of coming inside, and then she's poking in that drop ball.
She knew she was going to get some work tonight here for Amber Turner. Tulsa's going to pinch hit here. Elle Rouse was due up in the 7th.
Hardest people here tonight. She's got a 4.0 GPA, and she's majoring in chemical engineering with a minor in biomedical engineering. I don't even know what I don't even know about that.
Just the sheer amount of words would have eliminated that from my possibilities of majors.
Coach Strimple talked about how hard of a worker she is. Well, she's taking some of the hardest classes here at TU. I mean, she is working extra. She's here in the cages, making sure that she gets her work in. Her last pinch hit appearance, she came through against Memphis. Nice little hit up the middle.
Landry in the circle, coming off a first-team All-Region season in 2024 for Louisiana.
Something that I could take into my own life, and they go ahead and put it in their locker room to see that every day when you're walking in. Just a good reminder. I mean, that's just great. I mean, I love that. I love a little bit of inspiration. I've kind of picked a word of my year and I wrote it on my refrigerator. And I see it every day, and I think it works. So walking into the locker room, feeling that kind of motivation and hearing her say that day in and day out, I mean, I think that just speaks to the type of program she's built.
Yeah, it fits right in with, you know, the dominance they've had with 4 straight national titles, and you wonder, how is there no contentment or complacency? Not for a second have they lived on yesterday's glory, and that saying goes hand in hand with it.
And she keeps doing it with new people, people you knew, people you don't. I mean, it's a consistent dynasty over there. Looks like that got her.
At 1-2 with 1 out.
Mixing speeds. I mean, even though there's been a few hits here and there and a run scored on her, she's doing a good job of keeping the hitters a little bit more off balance, and that was a good example. She's just a little bit more out in front on her off-speed pitch. It's what she's going to need to keep doing if she wants to stay in this game and keep her team in it.
Rewind back to the 4th. First at bat of the game.
What a way to step in and hit the ball. You could tell she was just seeing it really well.
For Oklahoma, 6 straight games with 3+ homers going into game 2 on Sunday. They hit none, but still win 2-1. Finding ways to get it done. And they've had their share of close ball games now. They're 6-0 in games decided by 1 run or in extra innings.
They've had quite a few extra inning games this season already. Against several teams. I mean, that's what you want to see out of your team when you know you have so many newcomers, is that resiliency in late, long inning games, especially knowing that you have that pressure on you to come in and carry on the legacy of 4 straight. A lot of fight in this OU team.
Cheney Helton, a homecoming of sorts. The Coweta High School product just down the road. work here, though, to start this 5th inning by Abby Hayes, getting the first 2 batters.
She's got some great stuff. I feel like her numbers haven't really reflected that yet, but she's coming in here and you can just feel that she's taking charge and competing. And that's what you want to see. I want to see a pitcher get in there and step in the circle like she knows she can do it. And you can just see her confidence, just looking at her, walking back. She's owning her space. Pitching big. You want to have a big personality there.
They put 11 hits on the board so far tonight. And trying to make it stick. Sam Landry in the circle. Came on back in the 3rd. Tulsa was able to get her for 1 run in the 4th. But Landry got them out of a big spot in the 3rd. Looked like it could be another run-scoring inning for Tulsa. OU was able to turn 2 to end the frame. And, you know, if they don't get that ball from Landry and turn that double play, that's a 4-2 ball game at that point.
Absolutely. I mean, it could be a game changer at any point, but that's what makes this obviously softball great. I just love watching the game because it's just all those little things really do add up, and that's their main focus is do the small things so well.
There's Aaliyah Scarborough pinch hitting for Tulsa. She has not been afraid of the big moment this year.
Nope, she first AB at Texas, hits it over the fence. That's a big swing for her. She loves these kind of moments. She loves the big moments. She's somebody that wants to step in when the game's on the line. It's hard to pick up, and that's why she's got that swing and miss rate on her drop ball.
Strikes out the first 2 here in the 5th. Back to the top of the lineup. And Macy Cole. Cole was the first batter to face her and got a base hit. Talked about Cole embracing that spot in the leadoff. Her on-base percentage is up from a year ago. She's kind of got her strike zone down, not going to stretch it for anybody. She's already walked as many times this year as all of last year.
Well, I mean, that's an attribute to the fact that she studies and looks at pitchers so much. That's one thing that she's kind of leveled up this year, and she's just a hardcore competitor. It's a person that you want at the top of the lineup, seeing pitches, and she just makes sure that she sees a lot of pitches so she can get off her best swings in her at-bats.
She had good knowledge instilled in her growing up. Her mom, Mandy, was a longtime coach, including some time coaching here at Tulsa.
Yeah, and her mom also played softball at Connors State.
Abby Hayes, how about this relief outing? Pitching quite well.
This is a huge confidence builder for her because this is what I think she's fully capable of. She's mixing pitches, she's staying on the corner, and ending with such a great, energetic strikeout. I mean, that's a momentum shifter for Tulsa for sure.
Transfer from College of Southern Idaho.
I was actually talking to her just the other day, and she said that her and Maples played against each other in the JUCO College World Series. And Maples played for McLennan, and they had beat Abby's team. So a little more friendly competition from the pitching staff.
Yeah, that McLennan Community College team that Maples was a part of was just a buzzsaw. 59 wins for them.
Here to keep them off balance, although, you know, it's always a tough task when you're playing OU.
This is where they can really make you pay, and that's what Tulsa's going to talk about right here. All right, how do we attack this? Takes the first pitch strike. Five different pitchers have logged innings this year for Chrissy Strimple's team. Tulsa always been tough in their home ballpark. 15-4 a season ago. Entered the night 6-2. Collins Family Softball Complex.
She's got good range. It's one thing that Coach Trimble praised about her. Very athletic over there at second base.
Agbayani has driven in a run in all three of her plate appearances tonight. Pair of hits, sandwiching a sac fly that came in the third. Now with 17 RBI on the year. One of many great finds of talent that OU has had from the legendary OC Batbusters under Coach Mike Stiff. First-year transfer from BYU. Two-time All-Region. Conference Defensive Player of the Year as a freshman.
You think she has enough bows in her hair? She's really decked out. I like it.
It's one of those, if you could do that on your own without any help, that'd be really impressive too. Maybe she did.
But you know, when you've got the TV games, you go all out for your hair. Something I certainly did. It was bubble braids all the time. I didn't have any fancy bows though. Maybe I should have.
First time to the plate for Corey Hicks. 0 for 5 on the year, but has walked twice. Patty Gasso said coming in, and I think they've kind of already had their scares in non-conference play anyway, so the chances of overlooking anybody, it's just not going to happen. She said it wouldn't happen to them. She said what has happened in the past, as we've seen, Tulsa has beat OU in the past, and this is always a tough game, so just because we've got another big SEC series coming up, we are not looking ahead to Friday. They've proven that so far.
They've come in and they've stuck with their plan. A little close call over there at third base. It's a hard hit. Foul ball. Right at Patty over there.
She said something there that's got a smile on Agbayani's face. How many unrelated to softball conversations did you have if you were on third with your coach during moments like that? And okay, we've got 15 seconds here before the next pitch.
You know, when I was here at Tulsa, we had Coach John.
Takes care of it, 6-3 for round number 1. Brings up Celeste Wood. She's only been retired once in her last 11 plate appearances. 6 of 7 this past weekend with 5 RBI. Fourth-year player having the best year of her career thus far. Said she's at her best when she has kind of that happy-go-lucky persona, the not focused too hard. She's got that infectious smile.
I don't think she's a leader because she doesn't really ever get down. Her pregame ritual over here is getting everybody eat some peach rings, these little sugary rings that Coach Triple says she's abstained from so far, but seems to be something that gets her going. Tries to get everybody to have them.
Slices that foul. Whatever works, right?
Yeah.
It put me to sleep, all those empty cards, but
seems like it gives her some hits. Coming off a conference honor roll selection. Great performance this past weekend.
Walk the sting out there. Unfazed, there's that smile.
Got to keep it light. Work through the pain.
How much fun would she to have a mic'd up? That would be.
It's just disgusting. I mean, exactly like they said, she's got a nasty changeup, and the thing that makes this so scary is that her drop ball looks exactly like that coming in, but it's significantly harder. It's so hard to pick up, and it makes hitters look like that often.
5 strikeouts now for Landry, and it's down to Annika Dill. Oklahoma's done a good job, like always. This balanced pitching staff. They've thrown 5 this year, but they've put all of them in all kinds of situations. All 5 have started at least 2 games. All 5 have at least 3 relief appearances. So
well, they're very good at getting them mentally strong. That's one thing that they work on, a championship mindset. They need to put them in different situations. They need to find out what they can do and use their strengths and pitch the way that they know how.
Performance from the undefeated and #1 ranked Sooners.
I mean, there's no surprise when you watch them play like that, why they're undefeated and why they're in the top